And hi, everyone. We are now here talking with Matteo Lambert, who lives in Virginia, United States. And he is 9 years old. And just like the people of Newfoundland inspired me to promote kindness in the world, he is promoting kindness. And he is founded his own organization and effort to promote helping kids with cancer. And I was truly inspired. I met your dad when I was in Washington, D.C., when the musical Come From Away was there. You saw Come From Away, right? In New York City, I think. Yeah. So you're part of a book. You and I have also done a TEDx talk. So you and I feel like we're friends because we both are trying to get the world to have more kindness to others. But my first question for you is just how did this all get started? You have something called the Off the Charts Club, and so tell me how that began. And you had a challenge that you faced that you decided you were gonna overcome that. Tell us about that.
Well, the off the charts wasn't really planned, but I started running when I was 7, and my first race was my school's 5K fundraiser. And my parents thought I was too young, but I told them I could do it, so they let me do it. After after I did that one, I did a couple more, and I liked it. So I started doing more, and then one day I went to this prostate cancer one, and I ran for my grandparent, who I call Poppy, and he's a prostate cancer survivor. And after the race, I won second place in my age group,
Wow.
and my dad told me to go up and get my medal, but I I realized that it was not about awards, it was just about helping other people.
Wow.
So that year, I just started running for the charity called Hope Cam, and they help kids with cancer connect to their classmates by using webcams, and they help them feel not that like they're not alone in their battle. So after that, I wanted to do something else, so I started that Off the Charts Club to help kids with cancer get off their medical charts, teach teach people, other healthy kids, that they can help others no matter what age or size they are. And I also want to help healthy kids know that they can follow their passion to help others.
Wow. That is incredible. Now you also there's another meaning to the word chart. I saw a picture of you that you were measured against a chart. Can you tell me about that?
Well, when I tried out for basketball, they had this height chart, and I was literally off the charts. I didn't reach the chart.
So you weren't tall enough.
hmm
And how did that make you feel?
Um, at that age, I really didn't care about that,
Good for you.
but yeah.
And so what you started doing was you were starting to raise money to help kids with cancer. And there's a real unique way that you do that. So can you explain that?
So I run many races to, and I wear a cape to support a kid with cancer and help them feel better. And then after the race, I give them the cape so they feel like they're not alone.
That is incredible. And I think I've seen some pictures where there might be a picture of the kid on the back of your cape
Mm-hmm. Picture and their name.
and their name. And so do you feel like they're running there with you or you're running for them?
I feel like it's when I finish, it's their race and it's all theirs.
That's incredible. And so when you go and meet the the kids, tell me about that. How does it what happens there and how does it feel?
When I meet the kids, it's I get to see how hard it is for them to go through it, and I realize that it's harder than what many of us do today.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah. And then so as a runner, when you get done with a race, there's something that goes off in your brain that's called the helper's high. You get this great feeling. How do you feel after you've run a 5K run?
Uh, I asked my dad, "Can I run another one?"
You feel so good and you feel happy, right? So tell us now, how many miles, how many runs did you do last year?
I did 32 races for about 120, for a total about 120 miles.
And then you raised money. Tell us about that.
So I raised money for Hope Cam to help kids connect with their classmates, and I raised $65,000.
$65,000. That's incredible. How does that make you feel when people give money to
Thank
help
you.
to do this?
It makes me feel happy that uh, they're they're happy fighting in that battle, that hard battle.
That's right. So kind of, yeah, that's what I like to talk about is that there are people that you're helping that they feel good, but that when we help others, we can feel good too, right?
Hmm.
That's been my experience. And so today's Random Acts of Kindness Day. So I want to encourage people to go try being kind to somebody they've never met before because it's going to make somebody else feel happy and then we feel happy. Isn't that
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And so I know that this year you've got a goal to do even more. Can you talk about that?
What?
You're going to do even more running this year, right?
Yeah, I'm going to run from Link, like basically Lincoln Memorial to the Liberty to Liberty. So it's called L to L, and it's a total of 220 miles.
Wow.
And I'm running 5K, 8K, and 10K races. And I'm running mostly on the East Coast, but I'm also running in Idaho, Illinois, Kentucky, Ohio, and more states.
That's incredible. That is really incredible.
And while I'm in those different states, I'm going to go to hospitals and deliver deliver books, the books from the that were sponsored by the play.
Yeah, the Lukami Foundation, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll get a picture of that and show
and
people.
I will also give them capes and medals.
Wow. Because your story is inside that book, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'll give people a link to show where they can buy one of those books and they can learn more about your story. And I'll give people a link where they can watch your TED talk. What was that like to speak in front of people on stage for a TEDx?
Uh, it was pretty fun to share what I did, and what I did to help kids with cancer, and share that it's not it's not just it's not easy to go through that.
Right. What it when you meet some of these kids, have you become friends with some of the kids with cancer that you meet?
Yes, I get to meet them every time I travel to different races. I go all over, so I get to see these kids everywhere.
And then the goal is if they beat the cancer, isn't explain what happens when if they when they finish their treatment.
So they ring a bell, and it's called the remission bell. So that means they're in remission. So they ring it,
That is fantastic. So that's what we want. We want more kids to be ringing that
Mhm.
bell, right? Yeah, and the great way to help those kids is what you're doing is you're helping those kids feel normal, that it's okay and they can stay connected to their classrooms and their classmates and their friends just because they might have to be in the hospital. It's okay, and that showing them that they have support. That's called compassion. You're helping this, engaging in the suffering of others. That's what we need more of in this world. Well, thank you very much. Is there anything else you want to share?
Yeah, any
Mm.
message?
Well, you and anybody can help in the community with and follow their passion and do what they like to do, and they can help others by doing that.
Yeah, no matter what your age, right?
Hmm.
You're 9 or 90. We need everybody to be helping out. Well, thank you for your time. I want to ask your dad, Brandon, to step in and say hello.
Hi there.
Brandon, how are
Not
you?
exactly dressed for this. Good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Well, thank you for taking your time today on this holiday and your son's time. You must be very proud of your son.
Well, it's we are proud of him. We try to, he's received some accolades, but we try to make him understand that this is not about him, that this is about the kids he's trying to support. And Matteo has been very good in channeling that sentiment. As you can tell, he's a fairly humble, actually a pretty shy kid who simply likes to run. And like he had mentioned, it all kind of started that watershed moment when instead of going up to get his medal, he looked at me and he said, "No, that's okay. This isn't about awards. It's about helping other people." And when he said that, I thought, well, whose child are you? Because I'm here for the awards. But 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 it goes to show that we can all, regardless of age, we can all learn something from one another, and we can all help each other. And life's too short not to try to do some kind of random act of kindness like we're celebrating today.
Right, right. Well, what about you? I mean, I usually the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So where did you have you been inspired throughout when you were a kid or through your adult life by to give back?
You know, honestly, I wish that I could say that I had this kind of spirit when I was young. I think it took me a little bit longer. It took me living overseas. I lived in Japan for a little bit, about 5, 6 years, and through that experience, because I grew up in a homogeneous society in rural Illinois, and everybody kind of looked like me and talked like me, and the experience of going to Japan made me understand what it was like to be a minority. First of all,
Mhm.
that people look at you different and think of you different. And then I had the blessing of also working with the public schools there, and working with a couple of kids who were autistic, who I would have lunch with quite often. And we actually had quite a bit in common because we both didn't quite fit in. I was a foreigner there, and they had their own developmental challenges. And so those types of experiences made me realize that we're all humans. We all need to find our ways to bond together. And, as that relates to cancer, any of us, we may be healthy today, but that could change tomorrow. And we see these kids, as adults, you get cancer often because of the lifestyle you lead, or things like that. Not always, but almost all the cases for the kids, it's nothing that they've done. It's not living a bad lifestyle. It's the brain tumors are very common amongst the kids, and it's really tough to see. And how can you not have some compassion and want to try to help?
Yeah, fantastic. How can people support you and the Charts Club?
Yeah, so we, as Matteo mentioned, this isn't something that we really planned. We didn't go out and try to become the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It just kind of started, and once he started running last year, we thought we have to keep this momentum going and help more people. And so what we've done now with the help of the Core Foundation, which is what they do is they help little people like us fulfill their dreams of helping others. And so they set up, they take care of all of our paperwork. And so we've set up a website called offthechartsclub.org, O-R-G, and people can go there and learn more about not only what Matteo is doing, but some of the stories of the kids. We have a board, which you have to do with a nonprofit, that is comprised of not men and women in suits, but some teen cancer survivors, because we feel it's their voice that we're trying to channel. And so you can go to our website, offthechartsclub.org. And, if you're so inclined to help out, every little bit helps. Our money goes towards providing some of these capes. Right now, we do Mateo's travel out of our own pocket. But we're just trying to help in any way we can, and any funds that we have will go straight to helping these kids emotionally.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for Matteo, and we wish you the best of luck and
Thank you.
doing great things in the world.
Matteo, do you want to come and say thank you and goodbye?
Thank you.
Bye. You guys have a great day.